have some tickets coming your way. All right, let's get to some neckline calls here in just a few minutes. We interviewed comedian Bobcat Goldthwait about a new documentary that he's directed about Barry Crimmins, and I don't know. I asked him about the passing of Robin Williams, who was his best friend.
Let me just say, because I was just listening to part of that interview yesterday, because I'm doing it because it'll air tomorrow on the best of.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And up until that part, it was a good interview. I still think it was a decent interview. Don't worry about it. But
I just pointed out
that him, and he said, I'm good to talk about anything. And then you probably forget that you said this. You even told him, I'm about to ask you a question, and I totally understand if you hang up on me. Right. You told me, he said, okay, go ahead. And that's when everything else happened. Well, and he did hang up on you, which was pretty awesome. Here's
the thing. Robin Williams died of committing suicide. He hung himself somehow. I don't know all the specifics on it, but he did hang himself. One of his last movies was one he did with Bobcat Goldthwait. The entire plot was that he was a father who found that his son had accidentally hung himself doing that autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, I finally saw that movie.
So Robin Williams covers it up to make it look more dignified that his son killed himself because he was depressed. And what does he do in the movie? He even writes like a very touching suicide note.
And then they publish it in the school's newspaper, and from then on, everyone just loves his son and is so attached to Robin Williams' character too now.
Right. And he finally gets acceptance as a writer, which is he was a frustrated writer. But anyway, I number one, it's eerie that one of Robin Williams' last movies involved somebody committing suicide by hanging themselves. I wasn't suggesting that Robin Williams was committing an act of autoerotic asphyxiation. Yeah. But don't you think it's kind of interesting that most people would rather, if people who do that, they would rather somebody come along and cover it up. They'd rather everybody think that they were depressed or sad or tortured or whatever than to think, oh, I was just trying to
get off.
Because it's undignified, I guess. But is suicide all that more dignified?
No.
I mean, if anything, it might let your family know. I'm not suggesting Robin Williams didn't intentionally kill to me. That a lot of people would. I know I would. Hey, man, if I'm ever found in a closet like David Carradine, it is one of your responsibility. Whoever finds me, pull my pants up.
Do me that solid. Do me one last solid.
Right, because I want my remaining family to think that I was miserable and depressed as opposed to a pervert, I guess. All right. So that's where I'm setting it up. That's where the Bobcat Goldthwait interview went all wrong yesterday.
Hey, what's up, Mo Show? Just calling in and let you know, Buzz, this morning, you kind of sounded like a douche with that interview with Bobcat Goldthwait. Kept telling you, you know what, just drop it, but kept going on, man. Kind of came off like a douchebag. Come on, Buzz. You know better than that. Love you guys. Have a good day.
In my defense, and I have felt bad about this for an entire day, but in my defense, he never said drop it.
Oh, the only time he kind of give you a hint was like, "Hey, are you not picking up that I'm not comfortable talking about this?"
Well,
that's when by then it was too late.
I mean, that wasn't a hint. It was our damage was done at that point, right?
But I will say, you did say before that I totally understand if you hang up on me.
He said, "Go for it."
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I completely understand where Robin Williams' friend or best friend or whoever it was that found him would cover it up if that was the case, that he was getting off, which is what Buzz is implying, because that's exactly what happened to David Carradine, and every time he's brought up in a conversation, that's the first thing anybody ever says. He died basically whacking off. Well, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Like I say, it's what's the word I'm looking for?
What?
It's like an ungraceful way to die because you were trying to. Let me just say this about autoerotic asphyxiation.
Don't do it.
How much must somebody masturbate to get to the point where they say, you know what? Masturbation just doesn't feel good.
Right?
Doesn't feel that great.
That's odd.
It's like, I've got to up the ante here somehow.
Yeah.
Let me try this. You're whacking off way too much.
Well,
if
like
you ever
that
get to
kid
that
in the
point.
movie, it was a lot. In that movie, that kid was constantly.
Really?
Yeah.
Calencillo.
See, better just to space it out,
Right.
you know. So it's more of an make an occasion out of it. Light a candle, you know. Put on some. Treat yourself.
Use the other hand.
yourself.
Right.
Use the other hand. Be the stranger.
Stranger
No.
danger.
You take your non-dominant hand, you sit on it for 30 minutes so it goes numb, and then you turn it upside down.
Well, that's
the
also
stranger.
another version of the stranger. But if you're used to, say, you're right-handed, then you use the left. Your left is not as good as doing the right hand. So, also another version of the stranger.
But I can't explain it. But I'm the same way. If I ever died like the guy from In Excess or David Carradine died, I would hope somebody would make it look more dignified. That I was just, you know. But then it puts a whole trip on your family. It's like, you know, were we, you know, was he disappointed in us if they think that you killed yourself because you were depressed?
All kinds of questions.
Hi, morning show. I've got this friend that hunts in Texas. You all were talking about bringing in deer. Well, what it is, and they might do that as well, but in New Mexico, they have these animals that are called oryx, and they brought them in from Africa back in the, 30s, 40s. And they're now endangered. I've seen a couple of herds of them whenever I'm out at Fort Bliss or McGregor. But these people, they wait at the edge of Texas, well, not at the restaurant, but on the border. And they wait till these oryx come into Texas, and then they kill them. And my friend showed me a picture of two of the little ones that he killed, and they were actually not even adults yet. They were just little babies. And if anything, I would think chase them back into New Mexico so that they won't be killed. But it's just sad. I think it's wrong. And that's it. Bye-bye.
Yeah, they import that. I mean, that was the whole point of bringing the oryx in. And people have told me they've seen them from the highway before.
Oh, yeah.
And have you?
Yeah, they hit cars and everything.
If they hit your car and it dies, are you allowed to take it and mount the head in your living room if you want to?
I'm pretty sure you killed it.
So people are still pretty upset today in the news about this dentist. I guess that just ruins his dentist practice, right?
Well, Emily said yesterday that he was already out of practice.
Yeah, they did close down his practice.
Yeah, but as a result of this,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What I'm saying is his job is to be a dentist, and he must make a lot of money doing it because he goes on these $100,000 safaris. Is he going to be able to open another business somewhere, or is he going to be just completely ostracized as being the dentist who killed Cecil the lion?
He's going to be known as that dentist.
You know, I'd always wondered when I used to see those Dentine commercials, it always say 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed say they recommend Dentine for their clients who chew gum. And I always wondered, why only 4 out of 5? Well, it turns out that the 5th dentist was out shooting exotic species. Now it makes sense.
Hey, what's up, morning show? I love listening to you guys. You guys are arguing right now about immigrants and this and that. They're criminals because they're breaking the law. If you think about it, they're really not doing nothing bad. If they're the ones that are just coming over, yes, they're breaking the law by being here, but they're actually working and busting their butt trying to contribute, then they're not really doing nothing wrong. They shouldn't be deported. But if you're the type that's committing crimes, stealing, hurting people, then you should be sent back. I feel the same for any race, not just Hispanic. If you're Afghanistan, you do a crime, get deported. Don't matter if you're a citizen. You should be a citizen because you deserve to be here. You bust your butt every day. You're hardworking. Take care of your family. That's what should make you a citizen, not what race you are, how you got here. That's just what I wanted to say.
All right. Donald Trump says that his plan is to deport all illegal immigrants and then decide who we let back in. 11 million people. How
Good luck with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is not realistic. He's not realistic in his ideas, and he's not realistic as a presidential candidate. But one of the facets of the immigration debate that I think a lot of people forget about or don't know about is that there are a lot of people who come to the United States not because they really want to become a U.S. citizen and they love our ideals and they think our country is better than Mexico. A lot of people do it only because of financial reward, financial incentive. And that's not a criticism. I'm just saying there are some people who come here and they think of themselves as Mexican. They don't want to become American. And someday they want to go back to Mexico. And they want to, they realize they can make a lot more money here. Well, that's what guest worker visas are for. And, there are other ways as opposed to just saying, well, who are you going to let in? You're going to let everybody in? And once you let everybody from Mexico who possibly wants to come in, are you going to say, well, we draw the line at the Mexican border. Now you can't come in from El Salvador or Guatemala. And if you let them come in from there, then you say, okay, Colombia, where does it end? Is there any point that it ends? But I think what they worry about a lot is that, people who know about this sort of thing is you do have people who come and want to take part in the American dream and, raise their kids here and become Americans. You got other people who are just interested in coming over to work to provide for their family, oftentimes back in Mexico.
And they send the money back.
Now, where that's a problem, the fact that anybody wants to take care of their family, I completely understand. But they're making money that then is taken out of the U.S. economy. Whatever you get paid, for the most part, except on vacation if you go out of the country, goes back into the economy, and it's what keeps the economy robust. Is you take your money, you go spend it, on a goods or service. The person that gets that money then spends it on another goods or service. If you got a lot of people off the books making money, eventually it's going to add up, and that's money that's stimulating Mexico's economy, not the United States economy. So there are a lot of realities other than people who are against illegal immigration are racist. It's much more complicated than just that. And that we should only let people in who are willing to obey the law. You've got to have some kind of immigration policy. And it just seems like over the course of the past 10 or 15 years, well, really starting with Bush, we've decided, you know what, we have immigration policy, but we're not really going to enforce it, which just seems a little bit crazy to me.
Hey, bud. All this negative talk about illegal immigration and stop being worked. This country was founded on illegal immigration. Illegal immigrants from Europe started this country. I'm the result of illegal immigration. My parents came over to the United States in search of better life for themselves, for me and my siblings. And they're a hardworking family. They have since gotten their residency. They have gotten their citizenship. They pay taxes. They're hardworking people. And they've raised good children. I volunteer my time to children, to the elderly. I'm also a part of the public safety department. And I've saved multiple lives, illegal or not. I don't care. How many of these people that are against illegal immigration actually volunteer their time to their community, actually help their community, actually help save lives? How many of them actually go ahead and do that? So to all these people who are against illegal immigration, they need their priorities straight. I mean, like I said, this country was founded by that. So that's all I got to say. Good morning, and y'all have a good day. Bye.
Okay, let me say this is why I disagree so wholeheartedly with Donald Trump. I think most people are good, decent people, and Trump seems to think everybody coming from Mexico are just the scum of the earth. And I don't think that. And I think a lot, most of the people, the majority of people who come here are not looking to, get on welfare or commit crimes. I just don't believe that. I think there are plenty of people who are opposed to illegal immigration who volunteer their time or do great. I mean, I don't think you can say only somebody who holds this political view that agrees with mine probably does good stuff. And as far as the original settlers of America being illegal immigrations, they technically they weren't illegal immigrants because there was no immigration law. You know, you went and discovered some new place, and this is just, we're talking about 1492. This is the way it was. If you went in somewhere, you could settle there. And if you ran into hostility from neighboring tribes, well, then you fought it out. But as far as being illegal immigrants, they couldn't be illegal because there was no law, certainly among the Native Americans, that said people from Europe, you know, I'm explaining what should be obvious here. It wasn't illegal immigration. Got
Call.
Okay. This is a live call. It's from Eva. Hello, Eva.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to weigh in on, I have no problem with everyone coming from Mexico, Canada, China, wherever they may come from, wherever. I know it's safer here. It's a better place for them to raise their families. I just say stop giving out all the medical, all the welfare to anyone that doesn't have a Social Security. I have no problem and have no reason saying that anyone that comes from Mexico is bad. My husband's mom brought him from Mexico, gave him a better life. He served time in the Marine Corps and fought for this country. Can't say that everyone from Mexico is bad.
Well, the statistics seem to show that most people who come in illegally from Mexico don't get on the system, like get on a public assistance or anything like that. Some do, you know, but the majority, it seems like, don't. I don't know. It's hard to accept any statistics because you know you're asking people who are trying to stay in the shadows to report on themselves. So
yeah, I mean, we have American citizens that are here that are just being lazy and collecting welfare and food stamps and everything else, while we have hardworking people here, and we do have illegal immigrants working their butts off and not getting any kind of assistance. So, I mean, we got good and bad, whether they're citizens or whether they're illegal. The great thing about being an American, living in a great American state.
Well, look, even most countries have some kind of policy on immigration, whatever it is. I mean, it's not like the United States is the only country that has any policy governing who crosses the border and gets to stay or can stay for an amount of time. So it's not like we're unusual in that, hey, we've got a certain policy and, you know, you're supposed to follow the law when it comes to that.